Here with Monmouth women's soccer head coach Krissy Turner. We now know the destination for her Hawks in the 2013 NCAA Tournament. Friday, they go to Happy Valley. They'll take on Penn State. And Coach Turner, before we talk about your tremendous regular season and then run in the MAC tournament, why don't you first talk about your tournament destination? You're going to Penn State now. What does this matchup mean to you, at least with the initial announcement moments ago from the NCAA?
Well, one of the things we did over the weekend, as the MAC championship was a week earlier, we started watching games on Friday. So Penn State is a team that we watched in the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament against Iowa. So we have seen them a little bit. We'll try to get some film on them. I am familiar with one of their go-to players, in Maya Hayes, who plays forward for them. She's leading. She might be the leading scorer in the nation. If not, she's one of the top with 19 goals. She hails from New Jersey, so I coached her as a youth player, so I am familiar with her. Penn State has a great tradition in the Big Ten and nationally. They are, a team that's been in the Final Four previously. We played them in 2007 in the NCAA Tournament. I know their coach and many of the players through the recruiting trails that we've seen play. So I think it's an opponent that, no, we don't know a lot about, but we know they have a great tradition, and they're one of the top 10 programs in Division I.
And before we get to your real keys to that game, we have to look backwards first. And what was just a tremendous regular season for you and your program. 17 wins, program record, 16 shutouts, another one. The accolades just kind of keep coming and coming. You guys haven't, I think, allowed a goal in 2013, it seems, with the way the team has been playing. Talk about that historic regular season, especially year one in the MAC, and what that meant for your program.
Well, I think one of the things that's really important to look at is the contributions that we have received from every player on our roster. Even going into the MAC tournament, we were starting players who hadn't yet started a match for us all year long. We have a lot of depth. We've been challenged with injuries throughout the year, with a few players missing the entire season, players missing games, and players have continued to step up and assumed responsibility and have held themselves accountable. At the end of each game, we have a most valuable offensive player and a most valuable defensive player. We have, given out the award to 13 or 14 players on the offensive side of the ball, as well as probably 9 or 10 on the defensive side of the ball. So it hasn't been the same players constantly stepping up as far as performance. It's been all 25 players on the roster, and I think that's one of the reasons why we've allowed ourselves to have the success that we've had as a team. I also think our team chemistry is absolutely fantastic, and that stems from the leadership from the older players to the new players assimilating themselves into the group, and it's one of the finest groups of young women that I've ever coached.
Something that we noticed all season, it seems. This group can play any way that you want them to. They're very dynamic going forward. The back line has been very good. You've gotten great play in goal. If you kind of look at it, you built a really top to bottom solid soccer team. And when you were putting this team together, was that an emphasis moving forward, and then knowing that all these players could gel so well together?
Well, I think it's every coach's dream to be able to have a season the type of season that we've had. And I think once we started to build confidence and we were able to get one shutout and then the second shutout and another shutout and be able to win on the road and to be able to do so well at home, I think the confidence just continued to grow, where we went into the MAC championship in a way that the players never thought that they weren't going to win it. So I think when you develop that type of confidence, it really carries over into how the team performs. And if a player can't step into the lineup because she's injured or she's sick, it doesn't matter. The players are not looking around saying, oh no, this player can't play or this player's a little banged up. It doesn't matter, because we've had such deep contributions from every player on the roster.
And Coach, quickly speak to this new tournament format that you've had to get used to in year one in the MAC. You go down to Florida, you win 3 matches in 4 days. I have to think that puts a tax on a soccer program and probably means what you just said. The depth is so much more important to go down as the favorite, as the top seed, still get a win. It had to obviously not be easy, but the prize being an NCAA tournament berth. But just talk about those couple days spent down in Florida, because it seemed as though that's not easy and your team passed the challenge with flying colors.
Well, I think it was something that we kept stressing all year long, that it was going to be a very difficult challenge for any of the teams to advance to the finals, let alone win on back-to-back days, winning the semifinal as well as winning the final. And we tried to work on our fitness throughout the year. We tried to have training sessions that would prepare the players for that type of environment, but it's very difficult to prepare for. Then the quarterfinal match, it was almost 90 degrees, and the humidity and the heat took a toll on our team, but they were able to recover quickly. And the semifinal game, I thought we were very sharp and played very well. And I think when you get to a final, you're not worried about that you're tired. You know, you're worried about that it's a championship opportunity and that you want to try to seize the moment, and I think the players did that. This past week we took a couple days off, then we had some very intense practices, worked on our fitness to try to keep our legs as good as we can keep them at this time of the year without having a game in, I guess it'll be 11 or 12 days. That's not an easy task either. Now that we know who we're facing, tomorrow we'll be able to have a practice, and then the same on Wednesday and Thursday before we get on the road to prepare for the upcoming match with Penn State.
And kind of a segue into that match, your team comes in statistically leading the nation in a couple different categories, one of the best defenses we've seen in the country. Penn State, you mentioned it earlier, they're very good moving forward. They score a lot. So knowing kind of the contrasting styles between you and the Nittany Lions, quickly take our viewers through how this game could play out and what you expect from Penn State on Friday.
Well, I think for us it's going to be the challenge to minimize their opportunities, and we've stressed that with our entire team, and in particular with the defensive unit all season long, and that's going to become, you know, a priority going into the match. I think for us, we're going to get a couple of chances, and it's just a matter of whether or not we can put those chances away.
Well, Coach, we appreciate a few minutes here. Obviously an exciting day learning of this destination at Penn State. Congratulations on winning the MAC tournament, the first in school history for any program, and good luck Friday.
Thank you very much, Eddie.
That's the head coach of the Monmouth Hawks, Krissy Turner. Her Hawks, after this historic regular season and run in the MAC tournament, they know where they're going. They're going to Penn State this Friday.